So we're here at IBC, and one of the other things that we're showing here is the new Polycam system, which is ideal for tracking multiple views in sports. For example, you can have one cameraman and he can get multiple views of the same point of interest from multiple cameras, but using only a single operator, a single console. So here we have a simple setup. We have 3 cameras up there. Okay. These are cameras being carried on our SFH30 head, which can take about 15 kilos and is a very sturdy little head. They're all connected via IP, so everything is networked. In fact, one of them down here is actually connected using a copper head. So we have fiber carrying power and Ethernet and video used to power the camera. Everything is going down the fiber cable, and it's being used to control this camera. This camera is connected to the Polycam system, although I'm not actually going to use it to track anything, but the other 3 cameras are going to track my point of interest. So up on the screen you see Polycam 1, Polycam 2 and Polycam 3. Okay, and those are going to be my 3 different views, and I'm going to use Polycam 1 as my master camera, so whatever I point Polycam 1 at, the others will follow. So I'll start off by showing you control using the pan bar. So for example, at the moment I have Polycam 1 is acting independently, and you can see there on the screen I can move it around, point at different objects. It's very simple to do that using the pan bars. You get very easy control. It's just like using a normal fluid head. And at the moment it's set to be quite soggy, so to speak, so I can set it to be more or less responsive depending on how shaky my hands are, so to speak. And I can actually control different cameras from here. For example, I can set it to control camera 1 or camera 2. So I want to move camera 2 slightly, I'm just going to do that using a joystick, or camera 3 slightly, I'm going to do that over here. So to turn Polycam on, all I do is I point it at an object, so let's say at that desk. Actually I'm going to choose something that all the cameras can see, so over here at this bar, and then I'm going to turn it on, and it's saying ready to go to because all the other cameras are not pointing at it, so I tell it that it's okay to go to, and all the cameras are now pointing to it. Just in case you missed that, I'll just show it again. So I'm going to turn it off. So I'm going to move my Polycam to another object over here to this desk, and on the main screen you can see Polycam 1 is pointing at the desk, and then I'm going to turn it on and tell all the other cameras to go to that point, and they all go to look at that desk. Okay? And now as I move it around, you'll see all the other cameras will follow my point of interest. So now I'm looking at the bar, and if I go further out, I look over there. Unfortunately there's a big bar from the booth that's in front of Polycam 3, but I can look pretty much anywhere. Okay. So you can have pretty much an unlimited number of cameras, and they can be placed around the stadium, and using a single operator he can point it at whatever he wants, and the Polycam system will automatically calculate where the other cameras need to point, and point to exactly the same position, so you can get multiple views of the same point of interest. And that is the Polycam system. Okay, so just to give you a brief overview of the software, this is everything is being calculated by this little laptop. It doesn't require much computing power, and here we have 3 heads. There's some green lights down here showing that I've got 3 heads connected via IP, so they're all networked together. And the 3 heads, they've been worked out by the laptop where they are positioned. You could, on this screen, also load in plans or 3D graphics of your stadium or your arena. So for example, this can read in Maya files or FBX files, and you can have your whole stadium shown here as well. And as I move this around using the pan bars, you'll see my point of interest is moving around to show where it is in space. Okay. Now I've told it that it's looking at a point that's about 1 meter off the ground, so it's keeping the point of interest always about 1 meter off the ground. And whatever I do, the cameras will just follow. The calibration procedure is very simple, and is just done by pointing the cameras at 2 points in the arena or on the sports field, and those are shown by this line over here. There are the 3 cameras that we're basically using to follow whatever I'm pointing at with the pan bars. So if I point over here to this man, then all the other cameras will point to him as well. If I go over here and point to somebody over in that booth, they will follow him as well. Whatever I point at, they'll follow. I can also select using this knob, any one of my other cameras to be the master. I have control of zoom and focus. Although currently I actually have also control using this joystick as well. So I can zoom in and out using this joystick.